G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard. That'll be the 650, that'll be the 750 XJ Mac. I've been a busy boy. I'll do them in order what I done them, and yes, I did an upload a shorts during the week, but I know shorts aren't everybody's thing, so let's do it from the off. I've got a seat. I have recovered it. It's just using vinyl and stretched across. It's not perfect, but there's nothing on this bike is, but it is good, it is comfy, and it is a damn sight better than it was. So that's, you know, like job one. Happy with that. I do now have something to do there, but I haven't really thought about it yet. I might actually pick that up and just put that in, make a bracket and put it there, and use the downlight for the license plate that was originally on there. I don't know, it's just, you know, it's there for now. The next bit that I did though, I'm really quite pleased with. A bit of light branding. Actually, I like it. I was pissing around in a week. So the panels, side panels on the 750 are two-piece, so effectively you can see that one's shinier than the other, but and they just pop in and pop out. So fundamentally, if I change my mind or whatever, I can just pop it out and undo it. Now that is literally laser printed on paper, Mod Podge from my wife's decoupage craft kit. So basically PVA glue, but posh stuff. Use that to stick it on and banged on a load of lacquer over the top. I've no idea if it'll last. I'm not got a clue. What I haven't done, I haven't rubbed down, I haven't polished or anything like that. I actually quite like I mean, it's the same black, this got lacquer on it, this hasn't. I actually quite like the difference in the shininess. Yeah. What I haven't done for a week is try to start it. Let's give that a go. Just see if he still wants to play. I have pumped up the wheel. I've got a slow puncher. Getting a bit of choke and it is cold. Woo. I've also tidied up the wiring around the tail now, so that's all tucked away. Nice and smart. Yeah, I think what I could do with, I've obviously still got the 650s carbs on there. I have stripped the 750 ones. It's all a bit out of sequence, particularly stripping carbs in this weather is cold, so through the goodwill of the good lady, I do tend to do it in the kitchen at night. So I stripped down the 750 carbs last night. I'm probably going to try and rebuild them tonight, or this evening I should say, but I'll jump you into the carb play here. Right then, so stripping these XJ750 carbs. So these are the carbs off Mac by 1982. I'm not going to film everything because it's dull, and it's just me undoing stuff, but I'll drop you in when I get to interesting bits, and this is one of them. So I've taken the diaphragms off. They're okay, they're not great, but two things of note. One, I have these plates that were missing from my 650 set of carbs, and I've made them, so I've got them in, and there's air screws under there. I'll take them out in a second, but there's some weird, like, crap, powder, whatever on the inside. Now obviously none of that's going to stop it running, but you know, it adds to the credence as to why I want to give these a really good clean and just completely strip them. I do have a rebuild kit. It's a dodgy one, but I'll see what's there. But low impact as we run up to Christmas. Sat in the kitchen, washing machine going, misses out on her Christmas dinner thingy with work, and I'll just get them stripped out. Cool. Right, I'm not going to film everything here, but I thought I'd break in quickly afterwards. So I'm down to the air screws underneath, and you can really see whatever that schmeeg is. And the air track itself doesn't really look that great. Now there is of course the opportunity, the possibility that this is just dried quick start. I don't know, I do not know, because it would have gone through that channel from the back. So looking at those, let's see if I can do it. See if I can do it with a bit of zooming. Ooh, so I can see an 80 and a 125. 80 at the, what's that? That's engine side. Cool. Check. 80, 125. Difficult to see. That's definitely a 125. I think that says 80. 80, 125. Right, let's get those out, and I'll also get the air fuel screws out. They look pretty mangled actually in these. So let's get that out. And we do all the diaphragm side in a one, I think. Oh, it's a slow old process this. We're getting there. So I have, can we focus, 120s, but not the big heads, because I couldn't find any of those. And 43 on the ignition, which I think is the same as in the book, to be honest. So that's probably about right. I need to really get something a little bit bigger than that. I think, if I remember, I can't remember from the book, but I'll have a look. Sorry, yeah, I was confusing myself there. Where are we? Main jet 120s. These had 112s in them. They've been down jetted when they should have been up jetted, so I've got 120s back in it, but I do need something a bit bigger to account for the lack of airbox, i.e. the air pods, and I'm pretty certain the exhausts aren't originally there, so, and it could do with going up a little bit, so a bit of eBay shoppage, I think. Right, washing machine is finishing up. I'm drinking tea in an evening, because I've got to go and pick the missus up shortly. I think I've stripped it as far as I was going to go. I was going to completely break it down, but in looking at the condition of a lot of the brasses and everything else in there, it's been rebuilt. Nothing obviously incorrectly. The air fuel screws were manky on the outside, but the tips were fine on them, really. The plungers for the clutch, or the fuel richener, it does say it's not a clutch, were okay, and it does point out that they're unlikely to wear or anything, but I've never taken them out before, so they're out. It's gammy on the air side, and the air screws were pretty nasty. If anything was nasty in here, it was those. Not now, not in this upload. This is going to go in the sink with warm soapy water. I can't fit this in my ultrasonic as is. I would have to break it down, but I don't think it needs it. It just needs cleaning. It doesn't need ultrasonic at all. Ultrasonic won't get it all shiny and sparkly, despite what you might see on some YouTube videos. But it is good at dislodging, or at least starting to dislodge really baked on stuff. But this is just mucky. I think the key element is going to be trying to get it, for one, balanced correctly, for two, float heights, to get them correct, but more importantly to get the correct jetting, I think is the principal one. I am going to clean what I've got, but I'm also going to go for some main jets that are bigger. Right, that'll do me. I'm not going to film chucking this in the sink and throwing bubbles all over it. Probably back in to put it back together. Ta-da.